Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's Saturday. I haven't slept well for the last sort of 3 or 4 days. Didn't sleep very well last night either. We got up for the Anzac Day candle lighting thing and I didn't even make it. I got up out of bed, I lay back down again and I crashed. So I missed the Anzac Day lighting a candle into the driveway. So apologies to all the Anzac Day, so I suppose, followers and the people that have lost loved ones and things through Anzac and through all the wars that have happened over the years. And thank you for your service to those from the past, the present and the future. Now, face shave. The Anzac Day, if you don't know what that is, it took me a long while. I used to think Anzac was a biscuit, but it's the Australian New Zealand Army Corps. Didn't know that. I thought it was just a biscuit when I first came to Australia. So there you go. So you've never heard of it and you've heard of an Anzac biscuit. I think that was the biscuits that you used to eat in the war because they lasted for ages. They're absolutely delicious. Zingari Man Shaving Soap, the Wanderer Barbershop. Fantastic scent, really nice. Powdery, sweet. It's almost got a gourmand thing happening. It's got that barbershop, something barbershoppy about it, but to me it's just a nice sort of citrus forward, musky, talcum powdery type scent, but it's very, very nice. It's a scent that Jack sent me from the virtual groom room. He thought I'd like it and I love it. I think it's great. It does have a sort of clean clothing sort of thing as well, like you've washed all your clothes, you've aired them out, you've done them in the tumble dryer and you bring them out and look at that smell. It's got that sort of thing going on as well, so it's a very nice scent that I like. It brings nice memories as well. The brush is my Wolf Whiskers Purple Haze with a 25mm black wolf fan knot. Now, once again, this knot isn't available, it's a new style knot. I'm sure it'll still be just as good, but this is a fantastic knot. Now, this cast wasn't, or this pour of this resin wasn't actually undertaken by Peter over Wolf Whiskers. He bought this in from a European company. So if you buy, generally if you get a brush and it is Purple Haze, which is this colour scheme, it's a blank that's bought from a blank making company, I don't know. They're generally not made in-house. They are I mean, this is a glossy finish, but there's nothing through it. They're just plain colours. There's no like sparkle effect to anything in there. They're just blue, pink and purples. But it's a fantastic brush. Great handle, really, really nice. Out of all my Wolf Whiskers handles, it's probably the best turn that Peter's done for me. I think this turn, just in terms of the full size, is just perfect. Right, here we go. Straight into the soap, so I've just sprayed it all over my mirror. I've sprayed it all over my phone and everything. Didn't soak the soap this time. I don't really need to soak it with a Zingari base. It's a very, very good quality soap base. And I don't think I've actually used it much with a synthetic brush. I've done it generally. I think I've been using my rhodium knot on it mainly. I'm actually sending my knot back to Surgeon over at Rhodium just to have a look at it, see what he thinks. And I don't know, he's never had any issues with it being in resin handles before. I'm starting to think it's me. It may not be me, it might be the knot, there might actually be something wrong with the knot, who knows. But he's going to investigate and have a look at it, see what he thinks, and then do whatever needs to be done. I'm also sending him another handle to have another knot put in, so as you can tell, I'm not that worried about how good his knots are. It's the best knot I've ever used, natural hair wise. Right, brush is loaded. It's far too much soap. I talked too much there when I was loading, and so I forgot about it. Scoop out the excess, which there isn't much of. Oh, it's actually more than I thought there was. Just going to dip it into the water, clean the soap off. I don't worry about getting my soaps wet. I completely agree with what Chris over at I Am CBD was talking about with regards to you can actually get the soap, the water underneath the soap. Happens in pretty much every soap. You cannot really have a soap that doesn't do that. The only way to completely eradicate that would be to use something like Mitchell's Real Fat and hand lather, rinse the soap off and then leave it to dry on a soap dish. That's the only way I can think of actually getting around it completely. Now, I had a bit of a reaction in my last shave with the moon soap, so I've actually had 2 days growth now. Is this 2 or 3? I don't even know, it might be 3. I think it's 2. So my skin, having used this after my shave at night, was fantastic the following day. It was fantastic later on, the same day after the shave. The following day it was fantastic, and right now it looks and feels great. Still got a little bit of redness on my neck, but I actually think it's down to the minor reaction that I got from the soap. Now, I haven't shaved my head, as you can probably see, since I shaved my face last time. The reason I haven't shaved my head is because I put sunscreen on to go for a run with the boys. Just your run-of-the-mill, you can buy it from your supermarket sunscreen, a spray one, which is full of chemicals and all sorts of shit. But that was what I had at the time. Sprayed it on, went, had a run, sweated, came back, and then I normally have a shower when I come straight in, but I didn't. I actually ended up making a couple of coffee, doing a couple of things, forgot about it, and then sat doing some work on the computer. Well, not work, but just helping my wife a little bit with some stuff. And as a result, I just sat there with the sweat and the cream and everything, and I've got so many in the back of my head. They're huge. I don't know whether you can see them or not. Massive sort of spots, pimples, whatever you want to call them. So the wife's popped them all today, because for some reason women love that, wives love that. It's some sort of therapeutic thing out of it, I don't know. I think it's just the pain that they cause us. So she's popped them, but they're a bit of a mess really. Nothing to do with the shaves, it was just all down to the fact that I put that sunscreen on and then went for a run and didn't go in the shower straight away and wash off, which is pretty disgusting, but this is an excellent soap base. And the scent strings are fantastic. Heather over at Zingari, they're just like, it's really good strong scents. You can see already how good that's getting just sat on the side of the brush. I know that we turned that light off. That's just sat there doing nothing. Right, let's spray the brush. Add some water. Nope, it's pouring right down the side of the handle. Now, for those of you that are Ricky Gervais fans, of course he's well known for his comedy and The Office. But he recently, well over the last few years, he's branched out into sort of TV shows with a little bit more of a serious note. Derek, where he plays a sort of mentally handicapped bloke, and does a fantastic job of it. But in his recent one, it's called Afterlife, he plays a man grieving the loss of his wife who passed away from cancer. Now, we watched the first season, I thought it was absolutely brilliant, really enjoyed it. The second season was released, and it is without a doubt, hands down, one of the best TV series of shows, of sets of 6 shows that I've ever watched. The amount of emotion that he conveys, and he's a fantastic actor. He's so underrated as an actor. And for me, I really enjoyed it, and it really hit home a lot a lot of home truths for me as well. He's not trying to be funny in it, although he is. Right, let's try a bit of the old Jack Virtue. I don't, you know, some of this lather is absolutely fantastic. I am going to just dip the tips of the brush. I'll just do what Jack over at Virtual Groom Room does. He just paints a bit of water in. I think that's still a little, that's probably just a little bit too dry for you, Jack. Let's just keep painting, see what happens. Just dip them tips again. I think you'd be proud of that one, mate. That's quite wet, but it's pretty spot on. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? How good does that look? Right, back to the Feather Artist Club with I think this is my third shave on this blade. So hopefully with each shave it will mellow a little bit because it is just a little bit sharp. It is a sharp blade, I tell you. They're all sharp blades, but this one's got a lot of exposure. You can see how far it sticks out. And it's very sharp. It is very smooth. And for me, very comfortable. So there's 2 days growth. And it just wipes it off. Oh, just trying to be a little bit more gentle today. I think sometimes when you start getting a little bit better with something you can rush it, or especially in this hobby, just push too hard. And fantastic. The lather must be just ever so slightly dry because it's just sticking just a little bit. It's nothing major, but it's sticking a bit. Here we go, left side. Pretty good. And the lather is fantastic. A little bit of water, that's super slick. Just rinse this off. Start with a fresh blade under the nose. Really nice. I actually watch Frank Stromberg quite a bit now. I enjoy his channel, wet shaving and stuff. I watched a bit of Matty Lindholm as well. I think all these guys are all, I think they're all Swedish, along with Shaving Butcher, and then we've got a couple of cracking artisans over there from the Swedish Witch, and oh, that's terrible, Gronlika. So there's some good stuff happening in Sweden, some good channels. They're all very funny guys in their own way. I think they've all met up at one point as well. I think they actually know each other, sort of. Well, that was a very, very nice first pass. I really enjoyed that. I'm just going to show you the lather sat in the water. So this has just been sat in here. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of hair and it's a bit disgusting, but I just want to show you how good the lather is. Look at the shine on that. It's phenomenal. The scent is beautiful. It's a real great scent strength. It's, for me, a lovely scent. I have heard others say they're not a big fan of this scent. I think if you go into it expecting it to be barbershop, it's not. It's a real big twist on barber. It's just fantastic. I'll show you how good this slickness is. Should really do this. Against the grain. See if I hit them. It's fantastic. Such a good soap. If that doesn't show you how good the residual slickness is, that I can shave comfortably with nothing on my face but residual slickness, nothing will. I'm going to lather up again because that's tremendous lather. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. It's so good that I'm making an absolute mess with it. I actually left the brush far too wet when I loaded. That's what's causing me all the messy issues. So simple to work with as well. It really is an easy soap to lather. I think this is vegetal in it. No, it's not. This is a tallow based soap. There you go, tallow base. I'm trying to get the blade angle on this a little better, so I'm holding this in my face, pretty much like that, everywhere. That's the angle I'm trying to get. I don't want to have it sat like that on my face. I'll just be scraping hair off, and it'll make it uncomfortable, no doubt, very uncomfortable. Right, here we go. Just soap on my hands now from rinsing it in the water. Now, my technique is by no means great, but I will say one thing I probably used this 20 times or so. The technique from my first shave with it to now is massively different and massively improved. There's no way I'm doing strokes like that 30 shaves ago. Stick with it. I think I might have sliced my chin there because I was talking at the time when I did it. What a wanker. But we'll see. It certainly feels more comfortable now against the grain for sure. I'm still getting weepers and stuff against the grain, but that's fine because I find the post-shave products I'm using are fantastic and they really help me. I'm just drying my hand off behind me so I can pull my neck. I've actually learned, believe it or not, I've learned a lot from watching Shaving Butcher. I learned my initial straight razor shaving from watching guys like Kai Triska and watching the Stallion, and they were really, and Ruds, I watched quite a bit of Ruds as well. But there's something about watching Shaving Butcher, Johan over at Shaving Butcher in Sweden. Now, if you're not aware, he actually suffers from Parkinson's disease. Now, I don't know how advanced it is, obviously. It's not super bad in advance because he's not shaking like this. I'm assuming he's on possibly a good medication or whatever, maybe just smokes a lot of weed, I don't know. But given his dad jokes, I would probably go for the weed side of things. But the way he shaves is very, it's almost like intuitive for someone that's never done something before. That's what it looks like. It looks like he's built a style of straight razor shaving that, given that his condition is lightly, it's one of those things I think that deteriorates over years, and there's not a whole heap you can do about it. The medication helps. I'm not sure whether it gets, obviously medications now are fantastic to what they were 20, 30, 40 years ago. But a straight razor shaving technique will likely allow him to shave well into his 50s, 60s and 70s, maybe longer, who knows. It's certainly very unique, that's for sure. I think even Frank and Matty Lindholm, I'm not sure whether I think they're two-handy, but I think I see Frank uses one hand more predominantly than the other, I think. There's no right or wrong way, as Chris over at IAMCD would say, there's no right or wrong way how to shave. There are ways that work best for you, and there are ways that work best for you that you haven't found yet. And it might be my way of doing it, Frank Stromberg, the Stallion, someone else that you watch, it'll be their way that you watch. And right, let's just try a bit. Oh, Jesus, I nearly sliced my fucking face off there. I'm still going to finish off with the carve. I just want to see how well I can shave with this all over. Now I've got quite a few weepers under here, you can see them. I think that's actually a little slice, that little line. That's where I caught myself earlier when I was talking. Don't talk when you shave it, shaving, for fuck's sake. Especially when, like me, your technique's not brilliant anyway. Right, I'm not going to do any more on the neck with the chevet. I'm going to finish off now with the carve. I'm just going to add a little bit of lather around my lips. It's a little bit dry. It's a fantastic scent, fantastic silk. It even tastes pretty good. Right, here we go. Now, I've got the carve Christopher Bradley razor here in stainless, and I've got a brand new blade in it, and the blade is this, the Gillette Super Stainless Spoiler. In my opinion, I haven't tried every blade, but that is the best blade I've ever used for longevity, for many things actually. The previous pack that I had, the first pack I ever used of them, was a gift. And I can't remember who sent me them, as per usual. So I went and bought several more packets of them that I got for really 55 Australian plus $10, 65 Australian for 5 packs of 15 blades. Or was it 7 packs? I can't remember. Now, what I found from using those other ones was that they last so long that the blades are sat in the pack for ages. Like when they made these years ago for granddads and dads and stuff, they must have lasted, like a pack of 15 blades must have lasted months. Absolutely. You get 30 shaves out of a blade each, I reckon, in this comfortably. Well, comfortably-ish. I can anyway. I don't remember how far I pushed the blade. I took one blade from the pack and I pushed it as far as it would go, and it was 20 plus, it might have been 30 shaves, I can't remember. It was a lot, and it was still smooth, and it was still sharp, and it was still cutting. It was just, I just changed it at the end. So, what I'm getting at, fuck, it's a long story, I tell you. The blades inside this packet are open to the air all the time. They are not wrapped, they are not sealed, there's no glue dots, there's no glue bumps, there's no bullshit. I don't know whether I have actually cut myself under there. I've got a couple of weepers. Right, hold on a minute. Such a slick soap. Even rinsing off that little bit at the end. Yes, so what I was getting at, these blades come like this. There's 15 blades in this pack. They don't all have 15 in them, but this pack here is a 15 blade pack. You can put your used blades in the back. Now, I opened this up because what happened with that pack that I first got, the further I delved into the blades, the more rust I was finding. Now the blade edges were still clean, but the rust was getting closer and closer each blade I got near the bottom. So I actually took all these blades out. You can actually pop the top off. Took all the blades out, separated them all, and then I just rubbed just a small amount of coconut oil on each blade. Whether that's the right or wrong thing to do, it's my favourite oil, so I just went with coconut oil. Just to help with repelling the water. Put all the blades back in, on top of each other, close up the packet, and away you go. So hopefully, the theory being, still a lot of soap in here, that when I get to the bottom of this pack, the blades will still have a little bit of residual oil on them and there'll be no rust that one. Now this is a brand new pack. I opened it yesterday, 2 days ago, I can't remember it, I think it was 2 days ago. And there's not a single blemish on any of the blades. New old stock, it had the price and everything still on it. And my next sort of thing was, I thought I'd been ripped off. Now these all came packaged in the original Gillette packets, plastic coating, the little ticket inside, win a lifetime supply of Gillette blades or whatever it was that it said, a year's supply of blades or something.
Oh, yeah, can you, Mum wants to know what this instructions is for.
Yamaha. Oh, it's for the speaker system.
Oh, okay. Are you recording?
Yeah. I don't know, do you know? I've got no idea. Nope. That's that screw. I'm at 31 minutes. I might as well just mush. Oh, fucking hell. Zingari Man. Sago shaving soap. This is the formula. Sago shaving soap is the formula. The Wandering Barbershop. Fantastic scent. 5 ounces of soap. One thing I like about the soap, or it hasn't done so yet, it has not moved from the edges of the tub. It hasn't shrunk at all. Smells fantastic. Just a wonderful soap. Wonderful labels, wonderful soap made by a wonderful person. Now, the brush performs brilliantly every time. It never lets me down. 25mm Black Wolf knot from Peter Wolf over at Wolf Whiskers. His handle turns are absolutely perfect. There's no blemishes, no striations, no mark. This handle is like, there's just nothing wrong with it at all. You'll not find a mark on it. It's so good. And most of them are like that these days. You know, you'll never get a brush now generally in your hand that's got any striations or marks on them. The Feather ACSS, or Artist Club Stainless Steel, I think it stands for, Chevette, is fantastic. It really is. I'm starting to really enjoy using it. I'm getting better and better with it, getting closer and closer shaves. Now, of course, I'm getting a few weepers here and there, and you know, I get that anyway. I can't get rid of it. It just happens. I've got that type of skin. I'm not as heavy as I used to be. I don't have, like, my neck juts in here, so I don't have like a sort of bigger flat surface to work with. Not that I'm having to go at heavier blokes, but I think heavier guys generally, you've got a smoother surface to sort of deal with. Might be a bit looser, I'm not sure, but it's just generally a straighter surface. You don't have all the indents and stuff to deal with, which is why I'm looking forward to trying a smiling blade. The razor was the carved Christopher Bradley razor with a brand spanking new ancient blade. These blades are older than me, I believe. I was born in '84. I think these blades are from the 70s. I think. 15 in a pack. Oh, that's what I was getting to. See that? What am I at? 33 minutes? Took me 3 minutes to remember. Fucking shit. Now, when I got this pack and I opened it, I was looking in and I'm going, it doesn't look like there's 15 blades in there. It looks like there's like 5 or 6. I'm looking at, like, you won't be able to see on the camera what I was looking at, but I was looking in, because I put these in myself now, they're a bit messed up, but at the time they were all level and perfect. And I'm looking in the side here, through this gap. Now you won't see it, but in there, there's like 6 blades or something, 6 or 7 blades, and I'm looking, I'm going, where the fuck's all the blades? Someone's taken the blades out. So I'm getting pissed off at this point. I'm like, I've spent a lot of money on these. The first packet I've opened new. I've sent a packet to Kevy Shaves as well, but I've opened this, the first one I've opened, and I'm looking at it. Well, what it is, you don't realise that's quite long. It's way longer than the length of a DE blade. So what the blades are staggered in here. You slide one out this way. Sorry, you see the arrows on it. This one slides out this way, the next one slides out that way. And that's how it works all the way down, backwards and forwards. So there's 8 blades on one side when you get it new and 7 on the other. So you slide out the 8th one first, and then you've got 7 on either side. So I'm looking in here getting pissed off, and then when I opened it up, of course, I realised that there was 15 blades. So just a bit of trivia there, just in case you actually get a packet of these and you look in and you think you've been duped. Open it right up if you want to definitely make sure, but if you've got 5 on each side, you've got 10 blades inside the thing. Makes sense now, doesn't it? Fucking idiot. And with that, I shall finish off now with the trusted AP Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. Now, I did say I was going to use this every day until it was finished, and let you know obviously how many days I got and how it works. It works fantastic, hands down, very, very good product. I cannot honestly grumble with it. I think it has improved my skin greatly. I would say it definitely competes with Codex in terms of how my skin is afterwards and how it feels quite a while after. It reduces the redness very well, and it's a very small amount that I use. Now, this is what my wife has been using since we got it. Codex Bio Oil. Is it Bio Oil? Bia is I think that's the type of, or this brand, this type of the Codex facial oil. She's just finished it, and she's now got about a week ago or so, maybe 9 days ago, and she's broken out, her skin's all broken out in spots, it's went oily. Funny thing is, she puts an oil on, but her skin's less oily. Go figure. It's almost like it oils your face and your skin doesn't have to then try and, I don't know how it works, but her skin's broken out, so she started using this as of today. In the meantime, we're going to order more Codex anyway, but it was just to give you a heads up that I'll try and keep a sort of idea of how many times it's been used, but just bear in mind, that's 30 mils. That's 30 mils. My wife has used that every single day since I think I got that in November. I think it was sent to me in November. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Heine or Hajni, I'm not sure, sorry. It's probably none of them. But, so that's lasted like, what are we in now? April 25th, so we're nearly in May, so we're looking at 6 months. So 30 mils of oil has lasted my wife 6 months of guaranteed daily use. She's used that every day without fail. And I've used this every day since I've got it, and there still feels like there's loads left in it. And I think I've had that for well over a month now, I think. But that is absolutely fantastic. It really is. Now I've got little blemishes on my skin and things, you know, I don't really worry about them. I've still got that little bit of redness there from where I nicked myself. But overall, I know in 10 minutes time, my skin's not tight at all. It feels really soft and supple. Nothing. Passion fruit and a bit of Wandering Barbershop. Lovely jubbly. With that, I'm going to go because 37 minutes is just absolutely ridiculous. If you stood around and watched this whole video, thank you so much for putting up with my utter bullshit and crap talk for the whole time. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.